Recently, an announcement caught the attention of the transport industry. Smart card manufacturers Giesecke & Devrient and Obertur Technologies and chip suppliers Infineon Technologies and Inside Contactless announced they had launched an industry initiative to provide a new security solution for next-generation smart card-based public transport applications. The proposed solution will build upon a new open standard that will be implemented by the 4 partner companies. This push is remarkable, not just because it has been driven by 4 industry heavyweights, but because these sometime competitors are joining forces for the sake of creating an open standard for public transport. Infineon Technologies has been doing the groundwork for the open standard, and Tilo Pannenbäcker, in charge of Infineon Technologies' transport business, used this opportunity to share his views on the transport market and explains which market changes and trends have created the need for such an open standard. Hello and welcome to CITV. My name is Karen Brindley, and today joining me is Dr. Tilo Pannenbäcker. He's a VP at Infineon Technologies and he's also a business manager for the public transportation business. So welcome, Tilo. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, we know Infineon Technologies as a high-end chip supplier. But I suppose in my thinking, transportation is also about low end. So where does Infineon fit in here?
You're right. We are very well known for our high-end products, for our high security products. But in fact, we are very good in tailoring security. Tailored security goes really from the very, very low end to the high-end applications. So you could look today at things like disposable tickets, paper tickets that you throw away after use, up to e-passports. And we're good in all of that. And in that sense, tailoring security really to the needs of the application, to our end users, that's what we're good in.
So maybe you can explain then some of the projects you've been working on to give us an example.
Exactly. In public transport, we are well known for many, many years offering Wi-Fi compatible products. Big business for many years in South America, Europe, and quite recently we've also won a very good amount of projects in the APAC region with higher value products. We started with T-Money, Korea, 2004, delivered more than 20 million chips so far into this city alone. And in China recently, a lot of schemes have changed to more security, to higher value cards, Xi'an, Suzhou, Shenzhen. These are all good examples. And finally, Singapore is also a very good showcase project for us. And on the very low end side, we've just introduced a product for the disposable tickets, so we expect a good uptake on this one also.
So you mentioned there that there have been some changes over time. What do you see in this market as the changes, and what are the drivers for the change?
Indeed. There is a lot of change, a lot of exciting momentum in the transport market for quite some years now. A lot started with a MyFair Classic product being hacked, that was 2-3 years ago. And since then, a lot of people say, like, how should my transport system look like in the future? So a lot of them moved to the higher end side, to higher security, building kind of a new layer in the transport market, and I've given examples from the APAC region. And this sometimes also converges with payment cards, so that you can use a train, a bus, with a standard payment card that you have in your wallet anyway. And then also there's the tendency to very low-end applications, disposable tickets I mentioned. There's a good deployment with large volume in Europe, especially in Russia. So these are all examples for the market also moving towards the very low end. So in total we see a much growing market, very diverse now, with essentially 3 layers. The very high-end multi-application cards, sometimes also payment cards. The mid-level, which is as we used to have, mainly based on MyFair technology, and the very low-end with the disposable tickets.
Now, a chip supplier, you're just one part of the whole ecosystem. Where do you fit in? How important are you in the whole chain?
Indeed, it's an ecosystem of its own, and our position is quite clear. As a silicon maker, we partner a lot with our customers and other partners. Customers directly are inlay makers, card makers, and as a market leader for 12 years now in the smart card market, of course we have intense relations with them, and we shape the business with them together, the future of the transport business. But we go beyond that. We work a lot with system integrators and with the transport agencies to really understand their needs, the future trends, and to then come up with products that serve it best.
So you touched there on the partnerships. Do you then feel that partnerships are vital to move forward in this sector?
Sure, because at the end of the day, what a transport agency needs is a flawless system. It has to operate well, and the chip, to be very honest, as much as I like them, are just a tiny bit of it. So everything has to come together, everything has to work together, and that's what we're really striving for.
So if we come back to Infineon now and your part in the whole chain, what kind of solutions then are you offering for the transport sector?
We're very focused in our approach, very clear to everybody. We are a semiconductor company, so we offer semiconductor chips. I mentioned from the very low end to the higher end. They come in wafers and modules. We can include special transport functionality if needed, special authentication schemes, command sets, whatever is required and allows a transport agency to be more profitable, more efficient. But this is clearly our focus, so we don't fuzz around with other business models. We're here to serve.
So what are going to be some of the things that you're doing over the coming months, and where are you actually going to be driving this in the future?
I mentioned there's a lot of things happening, and we feel a strong tendency towards open standards, because many players have been pushing their proprietary solutions, trying to give the market a certain twist in a certain direction. With all the movement, with all the uncertainty also amongst the transport agencies, we feel it's all about open standards. And we've taken an initiative to build such an open standard, not in the academic way by terms of formal standardization, but really teaming up with other semiconductor companies. So we have this very exciting strategic alliance now with peers from ours, where we have agreed on the minimal functionality that chips need to perform in the transport schemes. And everybody can be sure now that these players will offer those products, that they comply to a certain standard in terms of authentication and command sets. Beyond that, there is freedom to implement, there's freedom to come up with differentiated products. So there will be a good, healthy offering from many semiconductor players to the transport market. And we feel with this forging of those players, it's really a good twist to the market. It's something that agencies can be very comfortable to engage on, and building their future transport schemes on this open standard.
So exciting times ahead.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Tilo, for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. Pleasure. Thank you.
This has been Karen Brindley for CITV. Thank you.